Okay, so tonight I want to talk really quickly about volume and understanding the importance of signing, a spouse or family member or somebody at the top of your business, and how volume kind of works. So just to kind of reiterate, Team Cycle bonus. Let me back up. So volume, everything has volume attached to it, obviously. And whatever volume you personally get, so that would be from something you order, and any volume from any customers who order through you, and any volume that coaches produce either themselves or through their customers, all rolls up to you. Okay, so basically anyone who signs up or orders something after you, all that volume rolls up. Okay, so for Team Cycle bonus, as I'm sure you all know, but I'm just going to go over it real quick. Team Cycle bonus. So you have a right leg and a left leg. So for every 2-to-1 ratio, for every 300 or 200 volume in one leg and 100 volume in the opposite leg is one Team Cycle bonus. Okay, so you get paid out on each Team Cycle bonus. So from each 2-to-1, you get paid out a certain amount. So if you're an Emerald, you get paid $14. As a Ruby coach, you get $16. And as a Diamond coach, you get $18. So each of those ranks their Team Cycle bonus has a cap. And I don't know what the caps are off the top of my head, but it is in the back office. Okay, so this is kind of how then volume works. So let's say, I'm going to be a teacher here for a second. Okay, so here is you. Okay, all right, so you go and you sign up as a coach. So all the volume that from your customers goes into you, and all the volume that counts for you, and all the volume that you produce through your own orders, like Shakeology and all that all adds up. Okay. I'll just use like dotted lines for that. These are all customers. Okay. Then you sign up a coach. So let's say you sign up your mom, and let's say you sign up your spouse. Okay, so now any volume that your spouse generates or any volume that your mom generates, so let's say your mom has, I don't know, 300 volume points, and let's say your spouse has 600 volume points. Okay, in addition to what you're already getting, you're going to get to take advantage of this volume. So this is going to be like, how would that be? 3 Team Cycle bonuses? I didn't do that math very well. Anyway, so that volume you get to take advantage, right? It rolls up to you. So now let's say, and this all goes out to your team volume. So now let's say your spouse, nope, I'm going to do this differently. Now let's say your you sign another coach up on the same leg as your spouse, right? So your next coach. So just know that purple is still you. Okay, so purple goes under you, and just here's another person. Okay, so this person now, whatever volume they accumulate, rolls up to your spouse and rolls up to you. Does that make sense? So now let's say your spouse signs, so let me erase that because that's going to get kind of confusing, but just know that. And then now let's say your spouse signs up, gosh, how am I going to say this? Signs up only one coach, okay? So they're not yet Emerald. And let's say this coach accumulates, I don't know, another 100 things of volume. All right, so now this whole leg, there's what, like 700 volume points? And then this leg, there's 300. So you're going to take, you know, your 100 from here and your 200 from here, right? So then it's going to be now 400 and 200. So that's one team cycle bonus. So it's going to be like three team cycle bonuses. I know that's kind of hard to understand. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so 3 team cycle bonuses, right? But then there's 100 volume points left over. Okay, so this leftover volume, because your spouse is not Emerald, is going to wipe away. It's going to wipe clean at the end of the week or month, whenever that happens. Okay, now if your spouse signed another coach and now your spouse is an Emerald, you're both Emerald coaches, then what happens with an Emerald coach is that not only do you now get to take advantage of your team cycle bonus, because before you couldn't, but this extra volume that's left over after you cycle, it gets banked. So it's going to go float up here into this little bank that exists in like the cloud of Beachbody world, and it's going to accumulate, right? So he's got 100 now. And then every, time you cycle, those leftover volume points that don't, equal out with the 2-to-1 ratio gets transferred to this bank. It's called your carryover volume. Okay. So, let's say now, this has been happening for a while, and let's say there's like 5,000 points of just banked volume. This would be over a really long period of time, but there's 5,000 points banked over in this leftover carryover volume. Now let's say he or she drops rank. So this coach quits. So now they're no longer an Emerald coach. They're just a regular coach. All this volume points that they have gets erased, and they never get it back. So that is why it is a very big deal. And that is why if you ever hear coaches say, if you don't have your spouse at Emerald rank, then you're wasting money or you're leaving money on the table. Because even if this coach is or your spouse is signed up but isn't a Emerald yet, or they've lost a rank or whatever, then this whatever's left over okay, well, first of all, they're not going to team cycle bonus. So all of these volume points, the 700 volume points, means nothing. It just gets wiped away every month. So that's team cycle bonus money that they could be accumulating each month, but they're not. Does that make sense? You following me so far? I'm sorry, my artwork is so unbelievable that it's distracting you from the message here, but try to pay attention. Okay, so anyway, so that's kind of how how volume works. So now, let's say, so let's go back to the other scenario. Okay, so your spouse is now, they're back to an Emerald coach. All is right in the world. And this is the part where I get a little fishy, but I think I'm starting to understand. So they have this, you know, I'm going to use blue because it looks like a cloud. They have this cloud of carryover volume. And let's say they have, I don't know, 10,000 points in there, we'll just say. Okay? And so it doesn't matter if this coach is Emerald or whatever, as long as this coach is holding a rank, the spouse. So let's say they get to a point in their team cycle bonus where it doesn't match up, right? So they have, I don't know, 500 volume points on their one leg, and they only have 100 volume points on their other leg. So they can only team cycle once, right? This 100 goes away, this becomes 400. That's one cycle. So now, if they would have had enough volume on this leg, they could have potentially cycled 2 more times. So what's going to happen is this leg is now used all the volume it has for the month. So now it's going to start pulling volume from this bank up here, their carryover volume bank, to help even out this 2-to-1 ratio so that you can cycle more times in that month. Right? So it's going to say, okay, $100, come down here. So here's another 100, makes this 300. So there's a third. So here's your first team cycle bonus. Here's your second team cycle bonus. Okay, so that maxed out. Now it's going to take, now it's down to 200. So now it's going to take another 100 out of that one. So you get to team cycle another time. It's 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, and so on and so forth until this leg is out, until they can't do a 2-to-1 ratio anymore. So in a much grander scheme, if this is a diamond coach and they have 10,000 points worth of volume banked, and let's say there's like 2,000 volume points in their one leg and only 500 in their other leg, they're going to pull from that bank that many times to cycle enough to get, you know what I mean, it equaled out. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. What else do I want to talk about with volume? I think those are the main points. The other thing to remember, let me kind of clean this back up a second. Okay, so you have your spouse, and this doesn't have to be your mom, it could be anybody, whatever. Okay, so now you have 2 emeralds, right? And then you have another one down here, another one down here, another one, another one, another one, and another one. Okay, so here's you're a diamond now. This is so pretty. Okay, so you're a diamond now, right? Hmm. Hmm. Should have had this all drawn out in like different boards or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here you are, your diamond, right? So now your team cycle bonus is $18 a cycle. You want to always be aware of your volume. So all of these coaches, see all that. All of these coaches, doesn't matter if they're, hold on. Doesn't matter if they're working or not. As long as they're active, they're all generating volume, right? So any volume that all of your 8 to 12 or however many coaches you have that makes you diamond, all of that volume is going to roll upward. Everything rolls up. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's why if you go on your business drill down and then you go to like, normally you check sponsorship drill down and you can kind of see like a list of all your coaches. There's another one you can look at under that tab, and it's called like, it is called like graphical, like genealogy or something. It's like graphical genealogy. Anyway, if you pull that up, it's going to be super confusing because what it's going to show is it's going to show every coach signed after you. And it's going to look like a tree just like this. Okay? So, and it has little keys on it that shows like, okay, red means, you know, blue means your personally sponsored coach, blah, blah, blah. It has like all different things like that. But something to know is that, okay, so like let's say, right, this is where it gets so hard to explain. But let's say, okay, okay, so let's use this for example. This is me, right? Not you guys, this is me. And I'm going to say this is Heather. Okay, so this one's Heather. So when Heather does her drill down, right, she's only going to see this coach and she's only going to see this coach in your sponsorship drill down. But what's actually happening is anyone I sign after Heather, so like let's say, I think like Maria's on a different leg, so this actually works out great. So this is, mom is now Maria, Heather and Maria. Kim I signed after Heather, right? So this is Kim. In my tree, this is Kim. Okay, and like we'll say this is Chad, just to kind of give you perspective of what we're looking at. So Kim signed up after Heather. So technically Kim is in Heather's like genealogical tree, her downline. She and Kim are both on my, whatever leg it is, we'll just say it's my right leg. Okay? Actually, to make this less confusing, I'm just going to look really quick. So, wait there. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so Kim and Heather are both in my right leg, I think. And then Maria is in my left leg. So, right, let me look. Business downline. Okay. All right, so Kim and Heather are in my, yes, in my right leg. And Maria's on my left leg. Okay, so this is Kim. So she now, whatever volume that Kim and her team generates, I guess, is going to roll up to Heather. But nothing that Kim does will ever roll up to Maria because you're on my opposite legs on my tree. Okay? So everything in my right leg, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so and Kim and Chad and Heather, all rolled up to me on my right leg. And all these people I have on my left leg, plus Maria, all of that volume rolls up to me on my left leg. It never crosses my legs. So now, to make it even a bit more confusing, anytime a coach, yeah, I think I already said it. Does that make sense about coaches rolling up or whatever? Yeah? Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
So which one is your strong and your weak leg?
Okay.
Figure that out.
This is really confusing to me. But I think whatever leg. Okay, so I need to talk this out a second. So I know Jamie is in Anita's strong leg. Laura is in Jamie's weak leg, which means Dusty is in her strong leg. And I cannot remember what I'm in Dusty's leg. But your strong leg is, I think, whatever leg you are in of your upline's coach.
That's what the lady, what I talked to Lauren said today, because I was asking her questions about. She said it depends. I'm on under you, and because I was asking if I have Chad on the right side or on the correct side on where I want him. And she said it depends on which one is yours. Then it will be the opposite for me.
Right. So you are on my right leg, and he is on your right leg.
I'm screwed. Okay.
That's good, right?
No, well, it depends. How did she say it? She said, oops, sorry. She said like, I guess if I am on your strong leg, then he would be on my weak leg. If we're both on this, I don't know. See, that's what I don't understand.
Okay, so this is the reasoning behind that. So, like, for example, I am on Dusty's, now that I'm thinking of this through, I am on Dusty's weak leg, which means that there's like less volume on her leg on that side, and there's less people that Jamie has signed under Dusty in that same leg. So I know. I'm still trying. This is the part I'm still trying to get. So, okay. So I am in Dusty's weak leg. And in her weak leg, so then Dusty's weak leg, and then
I don't know if this is going to help, but when we were talking about it at lunch, Anita had said that she put Eric in her weak leg, and that's where I would need to put Chad. And I think that we figured it out there that I didn't have him in the right leg or in the correct side or whatever. And because of how it all played out with you guys. And then, so I took from that was that she said just have him on one side and then make my other side this like stronger or whatever and place people on that one. So I was confused on like the things on Spring for Your Diamond, the posts there that said you need 4 and 4. So I was like, well, wait, I thought Anita said that just have Chad on one and have his all down. So I was just confused. I don't know.
Oh, okay. hold on. We're talking about two different things though.
Oh, okay.
In order for you to rank advanced to diamond, you have to have 4 and 4.
Okay.
Okay. So for diamond, don't think of, I mean, you do, but in terms of how many coaches you need, don't think about weak and strong legs. For diamond, it has to be 4 coaches on your right leg, 4 coaches on your left leg. 1 coach from each leg has to be emerald. Okay? That alone is what, and all of those coaches have to be active. So it's technically 12 coaches, right? Because you need your 4 plus, I mean, you don't necessarily have to find the 2 for your emerald or whatever, but so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12 coaches total in like your downline, I guess. Does that make sense? Okay, so I think what Anita was saying though is after you get, I'm not exactly sure what she was saying, but I think her point was you want to build, was in terms of volume. So you want to put, she said to put Chad in your weak leg.
Yeah. She said that's where Eric is, and that's how he doesn't have to do anything, or I don't know. Because she said that his mom.
She built Eric.
Right.
Right.
You want to put your strongest coach on your weak leg. That's why Jamie was saying her strongest coach, Alora, I think she said,
is on her weak leg.
Happened to end up on her weak leg, which worked out, been killing it. Like, her alone on her weak leg makes Jamie more money than all of us on her strong leg.
Right.
And Anita made it sound that way.
And the reason why, Chad, is because Laura happens to be awesome and she generates enough volume to be able to balance out that volume for Team Cycle bonus and all of that. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense in that way. I know that I'm pretty sure Dusty is in Jamie's strong leg, so opposite of Laura, which basically means, and why she says she makes no money off of Dusty is because Anita has so many people in her downline, you know, that were signed after Jamie, because Jamie was kind of signed, I think, towards the top of Anita's business. So Anita has obviously so many coaches that volume all rolls up to Jamie. So Jamie has so much money banked in this like real volume bank that she had to build a strong leg to kind of even that out. To take advantage of that. From my understanding. I really hope I'm explaining and understanding this. But so yeah, so like for me, I am in Dusty's weak leg, but I don't know if her weak leg or her right or left is her weak leg. I don't know. I would assume, typically you can tell from your volume when you log on to your main page and it says like your right and left volume, but mine seem to fluctuate a little bit. I think my right leg is my strong leg, which is where you and Chad are. And my left leg is my weak leg, which would make sense. But like my husband, Dan, is in my left leg. Yeah. So Dan is in my left leg, which I'm pretty sure is my, nope, I take that back. Dan is in my right leg too. I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay.
Okay, but up until the point that we're all confused, we understand everything else, right? Okay, cool. Well, that was partially my intent, not to confuse you more, but so yeah, I'm trying to learn more about volume because that's really important. So another thing to think about volume too is when you log on to your page, you know, there's that little like what's it called? Details or something, you know, on the kind of bottom left on your back office, and it shows let's see, it shows, it's just set to my volume. So it says projected PV, team volume, then it says left and right volume, right? So pay attention to that and watch how it fluctuates. So for example, like right now, mine, it's the first week, but mine is, I guess it's the second week, mine is 600 in my right leg and 100 in my left leg. So I would want to, I'm going to notice some weeks where they're pretty close, like a 2-to-1, you know, within a general 2-to-1 ratio. And then I'm going to notice some weeks where there might be like a, you know, 800 volume in one leg and like 80 volume in the other leg. So I would know that maybe I want to work really hard to sign either a coach or a challenger that week, because then their Shakeology is going to ship that same date every week. Therefore, it's going to contribute to my volume that week every month. Does that make sense? That's kind of like something down the road you can worry about. I mean, there's more important things to worry about, but just, I mean, understanding a little bit better about how volume works in general is great. That makes sense? Cool. So before we go, does anybody have questions about what we talked about or anything in regards to the Spring to Diamond group so far? How'd your interview go, Heather?
It went good. It was actually kind of funny because she is 33 weeks pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having some kind of preterm issues. And so she's like, this is like crazy. Don't you think this is crazy? I'm like talking to a NICU nurse, and it was funny. Like I just told her, I'm like, well, on the plus side, if you do end up having your baby, you have like a 99.2% chance it's going to survive. And she's like, oh my gosh, you were the only person that has given me some kind of positive note to delivering early.
Right.
It was funny, but yeah, no, it went good. It was like an hour long. We weren't expecting that, but it went good.
Good. I'm glad. This is really cool. So like I'm in a group chat with like everybody, the people who are leading that group or whatever. And it's so funny because every time someone has gotten off an interview, they're like, oh my gosh, whose coach is so-and-so? Like, they're awesome. I love them. Like, so it's really cool just to kind of, hear feedback. Or, I had one of Lauren's coaches that I did today, and I was like, whose coach is so-and-so? And Lauren's like, yeah, that's mine. And I was like, she's really cool, and she really looks up to you. And so she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. But, the two of them, had trouble, like, communicating that together. So, I don't know. It's just kind of cool to connect with people from different teams. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I have. I'm going to try to clear up the weak leg, strong leg thing. I have been told the answer to that numerous times, and for some reason it never sticks to my brain. So I need to write it down or something, but I'll figure it out.
Okay.
So, okay, and I'm really sorry that I was late. I was doing an interview that lasted like over an hour, which I don't know how it lasted over an hour, because this one, like this Zoom call, we already have like 6 minutes left. The other one never like popped up anything. Why is that? I kept waiting, like, okay, it's been 40 minutes. Like, come on, like, run out of time. I gotta go. And it didn't. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Cool. So everyone's confused and muddy and, and made it better. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. So I'll post this up once I get it transferred over, and if you need to reference it again, and then Kim can watch it later. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Have a great night, everybody.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.